Hello, my beautiful souls, the Awakened Dreamer here to talk about another dream that I had last night. Bear with me, I barely have a voice after drinking at a 4th of July cookout yesterday. Let's just talk about my light up flag glasses. I don't know if you can see that they light up, but let me turn them off real quick. Anyways, so this dream, we're not going to pull any cards for this one, we're just going to talk about it. But if you're new to this aspect of the channel in general, I am more than a vivid dreamer. Oh god, I just feel like a hot mess today. I'm more than a vivid or lucid dreamer, as some people call it, and a lot of people don't understand that when you have these dreams, which I do pretty much every night, except when Spirit wants me to get some rest, you enter sort of a meditative state and you don't really sleep throughout it, if that makes sense, at least for the majority of people. So if you're wondering why I typically sound or look like a tired mess, that's one of the main reasons. I usually am meditating at night instead of sleeping. Anyways, and so I wake up multiple times in the night or I'm woken up by Spirit to remember the dreams. And so I woke up, I remembered a couple from last night, and one of which was for the collective. And this one took place in a hotel. So I believe I was living in this hotel, to be completely honest. It wasn't 100% sure. But anyways, I came down to the front desk to touch base with them about my stay, or, you know, when it was coming to an end, or I believe I was trying to extend my stay, it felt like. And so I go up to the front desk, and there was someone standing next to me, but I hadn't looked at them yet. And then two women, and the woman behind the desk who was working had a voicemail on speaker, if that makes sense. And they were both listening to it, and it was in German. And I couldn't understand it, and I tried to like pull off that corny joke where I was like, yeah, what was it? What they said, you know what I mean? Like joking, because I didn't understand what was being said. And neither of them laughed. Moving on, it was super awkward. And I looked to my right really quickly, and I recognized that not only she's the owner of the hotel, interesting that she was standing on that side of the desk like a customer, but but I recognized her because we used to work together back in the day, and it was actually someone I used to fundraise with when I was younger, when I first moved to the city on my own. And then so I looked at her, and I was about to say something, and another gentleman who appeared to work there, was a staff member, came over and rushed me away from the two women before I could even ask or mention that I knew her, or, you know, try to speak to the one behind the desk about my stay or whatever the case was. And he sat me down like very prominently and was like, okay, so let's talk about your stay up until this point, and then we're going to figure out how much longer you're going to stay here, how much it's going to cost. And it just felt so off and so forced. And then I woke up, and so it took me honestly a hot second to figure out what this dream meant. And it was like, I was like, okay, I know it's for the collective. And then it came to me. So, you know, when you're so it kind of felt like you bear with me, I'm struggling today. When you so you're trying to figure out where you're heading, you know, what your next steps are. You're just trying to kind of extend a situation or figure out the next few steps in general. And then which was representing me going to the front desk in general with that woman, you know, trying to enjoy the process along the way, you know, cracking jokes. And then the other woman being the owner, represents, you know, my past popping up and me being shocked by it and thrown off in the middle of trying to, you know, figure out my future or my next few steps once again. And then, and I'm instantly pulled away and abruptly by another person trying to help me, but while that's bringing up my past again, which wasn't very helpful and it was just confusing. So it brings up the topic of, which I feel like a lot of people need to hear, of the confusion of when people try to step in and help you in regards to where you're heading in the future at times when you are trying to figure it out for yourself, and all the meanwhile your past is being brought up by certain individuals, and other people from your past are being, you know, are popping back up. And allow for yourself to look within, you know, for that inner guidance, for that intuition, and trust what you already know about your future. Trust where you feel you're intuitively meant to head. As well, a lot of you are starting to, or should be starting to, connect with your team of guides, your ancestors for some of you. And that can be a great source of inspiration and guidance as to where you're heading. It doesn't always have to be, you know, certain individuals in your external reality, if you will. Allowing for yourself to, most importantly, trust what you know lies ahead, and simplify things when you're trying to kind of figure out what's next for you. A lot of people feeling the need to overcomplicate things, even if that's not you trying to overcomplicate it. It's, you know, somebody else in your life, whether it's a parent, a family member, coworker, somebody you look to as a mentor. At times needing to sort of take a step back and be within your own energy and ask yourself a few important questions, like, what do I actually want to do next? Where do I actually see myself going? Allowing yourself to be honest with yourself in the process. You know, how satisfied are you with the progress you've made up until this point, with whether it's a project or a certain area of your life, or, you know, heading towards the completion of certain goals. It could be, you know, asking yourself how fulfilled you are within certain situations in your life. And, you know, it's not to kind of initiate sort of an overwhelming amount of overthinking. It's to be honest with oneself and be like, okay, well, I'm not happy with this. This doesn't work for me, and I need to figure out how to best proceed, you know? And if then you feel the need to reach out to other people for help or for some inspiration or some guidance, great. But it's at times when we feel it's forcefully kind of pushed on us, you know what I mean? All the meanwhile, our past is being brought back up, and we're like, okay, well, I already kind of reflected on that individually, so I don't need you to kind of bring back into the equation my past choices and decisions. And it's like, you know, it's good to learn and grow from it, but don't be kind of rubbing it in my face while you're trying to quote unquote help. And so again, it's important for a lot of you to kind of take a step back and figure out how you feel about your situations, or your situation in general now, again. And then just keep it simple as you try to move forward, making sure that you are honest with yourself, ask important questions, and do a bit of reflecting with oneself, but don't allow it to get to a level of overthinking, because that could lead to more confusion, of course, right? And allowing yourself to feel good about the progress that you've made up until this point, even if it's nowhere close to where you want to be. And I really hope this was helpful. And I find it fascinating that hotel dream led to this sort of message. But let me know if you guys have been having any sort of vivid or lucid dreams yourself down in the comments. I'm curious. But also don't forget to comment and let me know how this resonates or how it's helpful. I am wishing you nothing but the best, sending you love and light, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.